you son of a bitch. Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka El Adobo, aka El Sazón, aka El Borracho, aka Café Bustelo, aka El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at in this side of heaven. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's going to be the last fight, Top Rank, ESPN. Zaire Zander, one of the 154-pound phenom, Puerto Rico in the building, going to be, I think he's just less than 24 hours, so you become a champion and make the 154-pound division even more interesting. We got Shushu Carrington. We got Emilio Vargas in the ring tomorrow as well. We got Rohan Polanco, El Dominicano, El Platanero, El Manguco, El Tregolpe tomorrow. Madison Square Garden. Yeah, boy. A lot of storylines. I know it seems like it has that boxing is like, summer is dying down. We did have a crazy May, crazy June, crazy July, but still boxing. It's still boxing, and the good thing about this community is that we keep boxing relevant. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of people ain't talking about boxing, ESPN ain't gonna be talking about boxing no more. Mass media don't talk about boxing, but we do a great job to keep the ball rolling, to keep the boxing conversation going, to keep boxing relevant, even though that it's it's an ultimate niche sport right now. But there is topics I really want to talk about. A lot of people emphasizing a lot about ducking, right? Ducking, yo, this person ducking, and yo, this person ducking, and Jerome Bolzan is duck, and Tio duck, and this one duck, and this one that. But is duck justifiable? Is duck justifiable? We like to pick and choose to not understand every people's situation. Because at the end of the day, this is business. This is business. At the end of the day, when it comes to the sport of boxing, it's not like every other sport. In any other sport, we understand the business side. We understand free agency. We understand the draft. We understand all of that. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, the boxing fans like to understand the business side when they want to cater to an argument, but then they want to act like they don't know the business of boxing and understand that this is business, that this is prize fighting, and not only the fighters, and the fighters are truly not the ultimate decision makers all the time. Yeah, there's fighters that do make decisions. There's fighters that want to pull out. There's other fighters that don't want to fight. There's other fighters that, you know what I'm saying, they got something on the table and they got to take that fight, right? But I want to talk about also that. I want to talk about that. Let me tell you. Let me give you the rundown. Topics that we're going to be talking about today, right? We're going to be talking about this, the call out. You see the thumbnail, see the title, right? Shakur, I see you say you want to fight me, Teofimo Lopez. What's stopping it from happening next? And this ain't no bluff. Let's make boxing great again. That is the slogan of Teofimo Lopez. As a matter of fact, that is a copyright slogan of Teofimo Lopez. If you look it up, Teofimo Lopez owned the rights of Let's Make Boxing Great Again. So if I was Shakur Stevenson, I'll calm down a little bit on that. I'm dead serious. Teofimo Lopez has got that copywritten. So using that phrase, Teofimo Lopez owned that phrase. Teofimo Lopez owned that phrase. Making boxing great again. You think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing around, right? Oh, I got you right here. Watch. Y'all think I'm playing around? Hold on. I got no more. Yeah. Damn. I need to charge my damn phone. I got you right here, bro. What up? Watch. Watch. Look at this. I'm for real. I'm for real. Look at this. Look at this. You think I'm playing around, right? You go to trademark, right? Go to any trademark, right? Go to any trademark. Making boxing great again, right? Peep this. Who owns it? Teofimo Lopez. Serial number Tag number. It's a trademark owned by Teofimo Lopez of Fort Lauderdale, based on location. Hey yo, I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just letting y'all know if y'all get too, you remember what Clarissa Shields said, right? Remember when she said, I own the GOAT. I own the GOAT. Nobody should be using the GOAT, or I'm going to sue you. If you own the GOAT, if you say you the GOAT, man, Serrano, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I ain't going to sue you. Well, Teofimo Lopez owns the phrase "making boxing great again." But we're gonna be talking about that, right? We're gonna be talking about the call-outs. There's been back and forth with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, back and forth. But of course, in an interview with Mace and Cameron, It Is What It Is podcast, Teofimo Lopez said that he wouldn't face Shakur Stevenson because he was saying that Shakur Stevenson wanted to commit suicide in the amateurs because he lost and he can't take a loss and da-da-da-da. And then he started saying in other interviews about he made a deal or he because he's cool with Jay Prince and he wouldn't want to fight Shakur because he's cool with Jay Prince and things of that nature. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a good fight. I mean, look, we talking about fighters daring to be great, right? We seen Teofimo Lopez that wanted to dare to be great and face Boots Ennis, right? We respected that. We respect the Teofimo Lopez stepping up, daring to be great, go to the 147-pound division and challenge the lineal champion at the time, right? And that was supposed to be a fight that's supposed to be taking place, right? And we're going to be talking about that situation as well, whether it's duck or whether it's a justified duck. Because I want to tell the people right now, ain't no fighter, especially these fighters that know each other since they was young teens. Nobody's afraid of nobody. I think when people hear the word duck, automatically they attach that word to being afraid, being scared, being a vajiji juice. Fighters, T.O.'s not scared of Boots. T.O.'s not scared of Haney. Haney ain't scared of T.O. Boots ain't scared of T.O. Gary Antoine Russell ain't scared of Boots. Boots ain't scared of Gary Antoine Russell. Hitchens ain't scared of this. Matias ain't scared of T.O. T.O. ain't scared of Matias. Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody scared of nobody. Especially when you go into that square circle, these guys been doing this since they was Yehan. They not us, all right? We like to be like, oh, yo, this person is scared. This person is scared. No, none of these guys are scared. When Teofimo Lopez was a national Golden Glove in 2015, Boots Ennis was a champion as well. All these guys has fought for free. All these guys have sparred each other for free. Devin Haney has sparred Teofimo Lopez. Shakur has sparred with Devin Haney. Devin Haney has sparred with Tang. Tang has sparred with Tio. All these guys has fought each other when it was free. A lot of people wasn't looking. It wasn't money on the table or nothing like that. If anybody is afraid, will be the business handlers. If anybody is afraid, will be the business handlers because they don't want to F up on their investment. They don't want to take the risk and things of that nature because in the end of the day, they building a career. So, smash that like button on your way in. Y'all already know, baby. Support the channel. He said, I can't stand Lopez or Shakur, but I feel some way about most fighters. All I care about is watching a good fight. And we all know that Shakur Stevenson got good momentum with his last outing versus William Zepeda, in which he fought in a style that a lot of people been begging to watch Shakur Stevenson fight. There is no more narrative pushing on Shakur Stevenson. There's no more Twitterson. There's no more running on Shakur Stevenson. It's no more that Shakur Stevenson is boring. So I don't want to hear none of that no more. The same thing, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has fallen to the level of his expectations versus Arnold Barbosa. He beat him in each and every round. He was showboating. The jab was working great. Triple the jab, double the jab, quadruple the jab, hitting Barbosa in every damn punch in the damn book. His intellect and physical ability is coexisting at the highest level. Him and Shakur Stevenson are fighting at the highest level at the moment right now. Just like I felt that Teofimo Lopez and Boots Ennis was fighting at the highest moment right now. And I believe that just as good as we've been talking about Shakur Stevenson, a potential fight with Tank Davis, I believe that a Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson daring to be great going to his fourth division, I believe it will be a good fight. One thing for sure is that Teofimo Lopez is not a big 140. He's a big 135, but a small 140. He's that guy in between. He doesn't balloon up in weight. He's not these guys that walk around at 165, 170, 75, and then come back down to 140 and stuff like that. He's not those type of guys. So that would be an ideal matchup for Shakur Stevenson. They probably the same height. Shakur Stevenson is probably tall, a little bit taller than Teofimo Lopez, I believe so, or the same height. And I think that it will be a good fight. They know each other. Both of these guys was Olympian around the same year. I believe around the same year. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. The winner of Shakur versus Teo was top 10 pound for pound. Top 10. The winner of Shakur and Teofimo Lopez. If Teo beats Shakur, a 3-division world champion, he's powerful. He's going to be dabbling in the pound for pound. As a matter of fact, and Shakur Stevenson being Teofimo Lopez, oh yeah, top 3. Top 3. Top 3. Turki has proven that who won't let his feelings stand in the way of business. I can't say the same about Teo, though. But J Mike, all right, J Mike said, Turki has proven that he won't let feelings stand in the way of business. I can't say the same about Teo, though. But it was Turki Alalshikh that was in the boxing voice. What? There was Turki Alalshikh was in the boxing voice and said that he would not. I do not want to do business with nobody that does not respect my country and my religion. And they asked him, "Are you gonna put the are you gonna put the Richardson Hitchens and Teofimo Lopez?" I would not put that. I would not put that. I would not be around that. But Turki Alalshikh got to put his feelings to the side. He got to put his feelings to the side. I don't know if Turki Alalshikh was Turki Alalshikh confused about Teo and Ryan and what has been said. And the reason why I say that Turki Alalshikh should not be emotional. He said, yeah, Teo. The reason why, let me say in the chat, people in the chat right now, do you believe that Turki Alalshikh should forgive Teofimo Lopez, should put his feelings to the side and put the best fights that's available for a Shakur or a Teo? If Shakur's calling out for that fight and Teo's willing to fight that fight, should he put that to the side and pay these guys the type of money that he was willing to pay the guys like Ryan versus Rolly? The story or the rumor was that Ryan Garcia got $20 million to fight Rolly Romero, and if you paying Ryan Garcia $20 million to fight Rolly Romero and only paying Teofimo Lopez less than what, $4 or $5 million to face Barbosa, or even $3 million, and he was going to get paid $11 million in the second fight. I could see the frustration when it comes to Teofimo Lopez. I could see that. Teo is done. Find another racist to D-Ride. I mean, I'm sorry, beta male, but you know what I'm saying? This boxing, man. We don't stay in our feelings. We don't stay in our feelings. It's boxing. Public apology is in order to the community from Teo and Ryan. Then yes, but he already worked with Ryan Garcia. Lorenzo, is Turki Alalshikh being truthful? Like, Ryan Garcia just headlined Times Square, and Ryan Garcia was the one that actually disrespected the religion. He's the one that actually said that disrespected the religion in the country. It was actually Ryan Garcia. So when he said that about Teofimo Lopez on the boxing voice, it was Ryan Garcia that said that every Muslim was a pedo. Y'all forgot? Y'all forgot about that? He respected Ryan Garcia. Matter of fact, he invited Ryan Garcia to the Ring Magazine ceremony. He headlined Ryan Garcia to face Rolly Romero in Times Square over Teofimo Lopez, over Devin Haney. So am I saying that is Turki Alalshikh just too much in the feelings of Teo? Maybe because it didn't hurt Turki Alalshikh, the comments of Ryan, because he feels like it was a general comment and it wasn't directed towards Turki. But maybe that dictator comment really affected Turki Alalshikh. But this is the sport of boxing. We seen promoters hate each other all day. We seen, for how many years we seen Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn go to war. We seen the battles of Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum. We seen the Bob Arum and Al Heyman and Oscar De La Hoya. They still did Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis. They still did Jaime Munguia versus Canelo Alvarez. So I don't want to hear about, if Turki Al-Sheikh is here for the sport of boxing, that put boxing into the forefront of things and be here for the sport of boxing, you got to leave your feelings at home, because this is business. So if Shakur, if there's a potential fight with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, Turki Al-Sheikh should be the one in the front line to be like, I would do that fight. I don't have to like him. Let's not forget what Turki Al-Sheikh said a long time ago. Hold on. I don't want Turki Al-Sheikh to be a hypocrite of his own words. Let's go back what Turki Al-Sheikh said to Canelo Alvarez in the past. Hold on, let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if it's here. Let's see if it's here. Damn, it's not here. I always erase it when I actually need the quote. Let's see. Boom, it's right here. Hold on. Turki Al-Sheikh don't have to contradict himself. Look what Turki Al-Sheikh said to Canelo Alvarez before. He said, I heard what Canelo Alvarez said, that he respects me but doesn't like the way we do business. As for him respecting me, it doesn't matter to me if he does or not. As for the way I do business, I know why he doesn't, right? He doesn't care about if you respect him or he doesn't. Man, he's above boxing. He got a lot of money. He don't really need boxing. Boxing is his toy, so he doesn't need it. He doesn't urge for your respect. He doesn't care about your disrespect. And this is talking to Canelo Alvarez. This is about Canelo Alvarez. So why I don't want Turki Al-Sheikh to act like a beta man when it comes to Teofimo Lopez. All right? Keep your emotional out the door. This happens in the sport of boxing. We see Mike Tyson get mad and say a lot of crazy things about Don King, even in the interview when he was going to beat him up in a live interview, and still he was working with Don King. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that emotional talk. Turki Al-Sheikh, put your emotional to a side and put that fight that Shakur Stevenson is calling for. How about that? And you people in the comment section and say, nah, Tio shouldn't get an opportunity. Shut the hell up. Are you a boxing fan or what? Of course, I find someone else to D-Ride. Why are you thinking about PP in the boxing channel? You said that like 3 times on the comment section, Rice. Why are you thinking about dicks in the boxing channel? I know it has to be. It's a cultural thing. It's a culture thing. Blacks and Americanized Latinos, right? They always like to reference dicks. I want to know why. Where did that come from? Like, we're talking boxing, and this guy said, "Yo, find someone else to deal." Like, you're already thinking about PP. Do you visualize minds and TOs or something like that? Do you visualize that? Let's be honest. Let's have this conversation. I know I brought this up a while ago. Why in this culture that when people see, if you're a supporter of somebody, fans of somebody, the first thing they think about is dicks? No, I'm asking you a question, Rice. You the one that brought up D's. You the one that brought up penis and bananas and plátanos. Why do you, when you come to a boxing channel, you're thinking about D? That's why I said Americanized Latinos and blacks, you stupid. I'm actually answer the question. Answer my question. You brought up D. I'm asking you a question. Do you think about my D or Tio's D when you do you think about it, since you're referencing it? So do you think about mine? Do you want to know the size? Do you want to know if I'm circumcised or not? You brought it up. Do you want to have a conversation about it? Do you want to count the pubic hairs that I have or something like that? Do you want to have a conversation about it? I'll send you the link if you want to have a conversation about my D. We can have an open conversation about it. Can anybody answer that for me? Please, we want to know. You brought it up. Don't run away now. Or you thinking about my D every time that we do raise baits videos? Wow. Okay. So you think about so you so that's what you think about. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, people are crazy. People are crazy. We talking boxing. This guy's thinking about rainbow shit. He said, send me the link to your baby. Oh, please do, man. I don't know. Talk to her husband. Hey, yo, trust me. Trust me. If she was single, I would have gave you the number, all her information, man. I come in her, have babies with her, do all the crazy shit you could think of. Nah. You don't like. He said, "Give me the link to your baby mom." You're not about baby mamas. You was talking about D. You thinking about fighters' penises. You're thinking about minds. You're thinking about Teos. Stop acting like you like women now. You was talking about D. You like men. I right. You like men. Don't switch it up. Like now you think it warm, baby. Now you thinking about Punani now. Now you thinking about Vajiji. Stop it. You wasn't thinking about that. You was thinking about D. The people that are the most sensitive about racism is also racist. All right, let's go back to boxing. All right, because I don't want nobody here talking about D's and stuff. So Shakur Stevenson early on the day, not even an hour ago, called out Teofimo Lopez. I seen you say you want to fight Teofimo Lopez. I see you want to fight me, Tio. What's stopping it from happening next? And this ain't no bluff. Let's make boxing great again, little Tio. Now I'll put it like this: Shakur Stevenson, good call out. He's running high. I think it will be a good matchup. I think that Shakur Stevenson will be a hard outing for anybody, right? But Shakur Stevenson already know that publicly Turki Alalshikh does not like Teofimo Lopez. So this could be a real call out or a clout, not a clout chase, because I don't think that none of these guys could really clout chase each other because they're in the same level. But is it a genuine call out? Is it a genuine call out? Because you know that Turki Alalshikh ain't working with Tio, but you working with Turki Alalshikh. So how you think this fight is going to come through fruition? If I was Shakur Stevenson, I will add a Turki into that tweet. Just see, I did. As a matter of fact, in that tweet, I answered to that tweet and I added Turki Alalshikh if he will make that fight happen. See, because it's about Turki Alalshikh. Remember, Turki Alalshikh says, I'd have big plans for Shakur Stevenson. I have big plans for Shakur. I don't think it's cloud chasing. What's good, JD? But I like the fight. I'll be very surprised to see Lopez and Reha season card. I don't think that fight needs to happen in Reha season. I think, to be honest, man, I think that fight should happen here. You know what I'm saying? That fight should happen here. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. These are the fights. Eli, like, there's some. Look, I don't care that Devin Haney and Brian Oman Jr. is fighting over there, because that's not a fight that we as a community been building. We're not invested in Devin Haney and Brian Oman Jr. We are invested with Devin Haney versus Tio, Devin Haney versus Tank, Devin Haney versus Shakur, Devin Haney versus Ryan versus Tio. Right, the quote unquote Fab Five, right? Ryan, Tang, Shakur, Tio, Devin. These, if they match up, I want it to happen here. So I don't care that Devin Haney is fighting Brian Oman Jr. over there, but that fight needs to happen here. Like, I don't want to see Virgil Ortiz versus Jerome Bruce Ennis over there in Saudi Arabia. I want to see that fight live in Texas, so the community, the culture could be surrounded. These guys don't know who Virgil Ortiz and Bruce Ennis there. Why should they get that fight? Do it over here. It makes sense. It's the reason why you got Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford over here. It makes sense to make it over here. If you're about boxing, be about boxing. Go to the region where that fight is going to be built. Certain fights, we know what's a Las Vegas fight. And I'm not saying, look, they all world champions and they can fight all over the world, but it just makes sense. It makes sense to do it here. Like, it makes sense for Naoya Inoue to keep on packing that 50,000 people in that stadium. Norman Jr. beats them all. Norman Jr. beats them all. I gotta say, man, why Brian Norman Jr. beats them all, Lorenzo? Who did he beat? Like, we seen these fighters like Teo, Shakur, Haney. They're proven, man. They're proven. They're not. They passed the eye test. They have beyond passed the eye test already. They're highly accomplished, man. Shakur Stevenson is a 3-division world champion. Unified the titles in the super featherweight division. Teofimo Lopez is a 2-time lineal champion. Devin Haney is a 2-division champion, lightweight, recognized, undisputed champion. But Brian Norman Jr. beats all of them. Why hype it like that? Why hype it like that? This is what I mean about we like, it's like me when I'm making an assessment. If I never seen you get knocked out, my prediction is not right away saying, oh shit, he gonna get knocked out, yo. Nah. He said facts. Norman is the man. What made Norman the man? What made Norman the man? I'm not downplaying Norman. I'm just saying that if you put Norman as the man, then what is these other guys that have proven to be the men in the respective division that they ever fought in? Like, Teo was the man at 135. Teo is the man at 140. He proven to be the man because he beat the man. He got a lineal world champion. Who the fuck did Brian Norman Jr. be to be the man? Who the hell did Brian Norman Jr. beat to be the man? Who did Brian Norman? Damn. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. I got y'all right here. Let's do this. Let's do, because it's like going to a restaurant and certain people don't know how to read the menu. Can I see pictures? Let me give you the image. All right, let's give the image. Oh my god, can't believe we need to do this with hardcore boxing fans. All right, okay, let's do this. Brian Norman. I want to know why he's the man. Hold on. Okay, let's give the visual. Boom. All right. This for the people here. Here we go. Let's do a little artwork here. Let's do a little artwork there. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to do this here. Yeah, let's do this here. And let's do another here. All right. All right. Let's do a little bit of artwork here. Let's do a little bit of artwork here. Give me just 1 sec. We're going to upload this up. I don't know why people just jumped give me a second. I got you right here. All right. All right. All right. We're going to do this here. And then we will do this here. All right. There you go. Boom. We're going to put this here. All right. I'm going to do this here. Damn, that's too much. Let's do it here. All right. Let's push this a little bit there. All right. So we can have space. I hope. All right. All right. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Because I want to know, why is Brian Norman Jr. the man? Because I don't know. Maybe you guys know more than me. Hold on. see. What is y'all going to a bunch of channels and they hyping him up and oh my God, he's the hold on. All right. Take this thing out. All right. All right, everybody, pay attention to the screen. If it's too small, the lettering, we could flip your phone around or zoom it in on your laptop, or if you're watching this on TV, just zoom it in. Let's see how great this resume is. All right. All right, let's go to his debut, ladies and gentlemen. He fought an 0-2 guy. He fought a guy in his debut. The third fight, he fought a guy 2-17. His fourth fight, 7-68. His fifth fight, 5-33. 3-7. 1-8. 4-9. 2-33. 3-7. 12-14. 5 wins and 29 losses. Oh, his first fight with a guy that had a 5-1 record and it was a no contest. So let's skip that one. Then he fought a guy with a winning record, 7-2. And then he went back to fight a guy that is 2 wins and 30 losses. 9 wins and 1 loss. 13-7, 15-4, 7-10, 13-3, 10-8, 10-4, 24-4, 13-0, 17-2, no contest, and he beat Giovanni 32-0. KO the versus Cuevas 27-1. Now. Who the fuck did this motherfucker beat? Hold on, let me take this thing out. This manufactured dude, that's what he is. Manufactured, bro. That's what he is. That's what you call manufacturer in the sport of boxing. You're getting played, ladies and gentlemen. He is totally a manufactured fighter. Then nothing in the sport of boxing got elevated as a champion and just knocked out a guy in Japan that his name was not Nakatani, nor it was not Oya Inoue. Brian Norman Jr. has one of the most manufactured resume in boxing today. Brian Norman Jr. has one of the most manufactured resume in boxing today. Those are the facts. Don't come in my fucking channel or my chat and tell me nothing else. Are you blind? Are you guys blind? Oh, Brian Norman Jr., he's the man of what? Of what? Oh, yeah, man, the left hook. Oh, yeah, great statement. Win out there in Japan. Oh, my God, it looked good. Yes, it looked good. Versus whom? You guys will come here and disrespect fighters that has put in the fucking work and disrespect them with Brian Norman? Brian Norman is the man of what? Of what? Of what? Yo, go to all these other channels that want to interview them and stuff like that. Cool. I'll interview them too, but I got to keep it real with them too. He's 24, Punch. Stop hating. He's 24? He's 24? Do you want to know what Teofimo Lopez did at 24 years old? Do you want to know what Shakur Stevenson was doing at 24 years old? Do you want to know what Devin Haney did at age 24? Please stop it with this. He's 24. He's just young. Punch, relax. No, I want y'all to relax. I want y'all to stop shitting on those who put in the motherfucking work, because if I tell you in your respective job or your respective community and you put in that work and you see a dude that's not putting in that work, and then everybody giving props to the dude that they ain't putting work and you out here putting your work, how would you feel? I'm not shitting on Norman Jr. Y'all shitting on the guys that's put in work and have achieved great shit. To say Brian Norman Jr. beats them all. No, Brian Norman Jr., he's the man. He's the man. Stop. I'm not dissing Brian Norman Jr. Y'all dissing T.O., Haney, and Shakur. Outside of Lone Nate, one elite T.O. won. How many lineal champions? What the fuck are you? Are you new to boxing, or you watching male volleyball? Huh? Outside of Loma, since one elite, he beat Josh Taylor, the undisputed at 140-pound division, motherfucker. That's who he beat. That's why he's two-time lineal. Do you know boxing, or you coming from the male volleyball community over here? Trying to talk boxing? Yo, I'm telling you, this community is filled with stupid dudes, stupid people that know shit about boxing. If you don't know nothing about boxing, why you in the chat, bro? Just shut the F up, listen to the fucking real boxing heads, and learn a thing or two. This guy said, what's one elite fighter he won? Why he's a lineal champion twice? Because he beat the man to be the man. Josh Taylor in 140 got a better resume than Bill Crawford at 140. La gente de droga, crack usan esta gente. It's Friday. What is it? It's frying your head. What happened? The crack ain't lighting up real good or something like that? Go get his licks back from Australia. For what? Y'all ain't gonna respect that win, because if he goes out there in Australia, beats the crap out of George Kambosos, y'all gonna be like, but George Kambosos already got knocked out by Richardson Hitchens. He already got beat up for Lomachenko. He already got stopped by Lomachenko. He already got beat by Devin Haney twice. You guys wouldn't say, y'all wouldn't give props to Teofimo Lopez if he beat George Kambosos now? Why y'all acting up? Why y'all acting like y'all acting man stupid right now? Now, Teofimo Lopez need to go to Australia and beat Kambosos, and you ain't gonna give him no credit. You ain't gonna give him no credit for beating this George Kambosos. This George Kambosos was done. Finished. Finito. Stick a fork in it. Fatality. No heartbeat in his career, bro. Fuck you think? What you think T.O. beating George Kambosos today is gonna do? Now, I'm going to tell you like this. If Teofimo Lopez, after that fumble with George Kambosos, didn't do anything, did not beat Josh Taylor, doesn't have 6 consecutive wins, didn't go out there and do what he did to Barbosa and everybody else that he beat, and didn't accomplish shit right after the George Kambosos, I would be like, damn, yo, T.O. need to get back, get that thing back. But now get it back? We was just talking about Teofimo Lopez signed up to fight Boots Ennis. We was just talking about Teofimo Lopez almost fighting Devin Haney. But you guys are saying, yeah, I think that, I think T.O. needs to go back to Australia and fight George Kambosos. He need to get them licks back. Come on, man. Stop asking. You ask for the damn fight that been on the table. Why a lot of y'all ain't saying, why I don't hear a bunch of people saying, yo, whoa, Boots, why you ain't take that fight with T.O.? Why, y'all don't want to shame Boots? Because I'm a Boots fan too. And I could say he ducked T.O. I'm a T.O. fan too. And everybody in this community know that. And I could say, damn, T.O., damn, man, you ducked that Devin Haney fight, bro. You cornballs, man, don't like no damn unbiased talk. A bunch of people going out here, go to a bunch of channels saying, oh my God, you guys, y'all too biased. Y'all too biased. And once you hear a dude like Punch Run Boxing speak that unbiased talk that a lot of people in this community is afraid to speak and have unbiased takes, you guys are still like, oh no, stop, Punch. Said Boots get no credit for being 140-pound T.O. How? That's like saying that Roberto Duran, that's like saying Sugar Ray Leonard doesn't get no respect for beating Duran. because he was coming up from the lightweight division. That's like saying that Haggler doesn't get no props for beating Hearns because Hearn was coming up. How much you want to bet y'all gonna switch up? Let's stick to that. Dave Fernandez in the building. Hey yo, watch moving the goalposts because they're gonna be a slave to the past. Watch this. He says Boots gets no credit for beating a 140 TO. Now, ladies and gentlemen, did Haggler get props for the beating Thomas Hearns? Nah, he shouldn't get props. He shouldn't get props. Haggler shouldn't get props by being Hearns. Nah, he shouldn't get props. Watch out, somebody gonna be like, so are you comparing? No, Punch, don't tell me you gonna compare Haggler and Hearn. Yeah, I'm comparing at their time. Teofimo Lopez just got that fucking accomplishment. I can compare them at their time. Yes, I can. Yeah, I can. Teofimo Lopez today, in his era, right now, is better than Haggler. Yeah. Come on. Anybody want to debate that? Come on, bring. At this stage of their career, Teofimo Lopez is more accomplished than Haggler. Yeah. Haggler ain't never dared to be great. Haggler ain't never dared to be great. He ain't never move up. He ain't never really truly chest that chin. Haggler was beating little guys. The guy gonna catch people's feelings right now. How dare Punch Drunk Boxing gonna be talking about the legends like that? Man, please, man. Hey, well, please. T.O., the lineal champion at 140, fighting the lineal champion at 147 is a tradition, dare to be great. That makes sense. It's in the history of the sport of boxing that you move one division as the guy at 140 moving up to fight. Why you think when Bud Crawford was the man at the 140-pound division, he was calling out the Keith Thurmans of the world, the Earl Spence. And as soon as he got up there, everybody was matching Bud versus Spence. Bud versus Thurman. Why? Because he was the man at 140, right? Just like Teal is the man at 140, beating the lineal undisputed champion in Josh Taylor. And if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing in which Josh Taylor vacated his belt, we'll be crowning Teofimo Lopez as the 140-pound undisputed champion today. So if the undisputed at 140 wants to move up and fight the lineal champion Boots, that makes a whole lot of sense. Punch, salutes you to revive Tio, but would Tio even take any key fights that he's offered? He got no choice, in my opinion, right now. He got no choice. Walker, he got no choice. He got no choice. This boy glazing. What glazing means? I don't speak this new ebonics. What is glazing means? Where's that come from? What glazing means? Can anybody tell me what this means? I don't speak ebonics like that. I don't speak new slang. I don't speak what I feel like new gay terms. Is this from the rainbow community or something like this? What does glazing mean? Let me see if somebody else has come to the channel already thinking about rainbow-ish. The month of June passed. Tio is a special fighter, stylistically potential. Glazing means riding. Oh, I get it. Now I get it. That's what it means you're sweating some. Shy said it means, yo, Shy, what do you feel about, Shy, let's ask the lady. Shy, what do you feel about these new generation of men coming to boxing channel and already thinking about rainbow, like they think about PP, banana, plátanos and stuff. When you read the chat, Shy, can you explain as a lady of the channel, a lady of boxing, what do you feel about men that think about other men's PP or they glazing, they're writing there? It's weird. Like, what do you think about it, Shy? if you want to time in on that, I want to ask the ladies so these men could see a lady's point of view. Glazing me immature. Unsufferable. Hey, they sound feminine to me. They are. I think those that be like they glazing, those that be like, yo, you glazing, you riding, those are the one that's getting piped from behind, bro. A matter of fact, those that saying that, they usually, I think they actually get, I'm gonna, I think I know what they're doing right now. To be honest, I think when I go live, those who are already thinking about glazing and riding, I think they're actually playing with themselves while they watch me. I think so. Because how can you, if we're talking about boxing, how do we talk about boxing and you're thinking about la mamada, el papá de la mamada? How does your brain work like that? Like, I can never understand that. How does a brain work like that? Like, you go to a channel, you listening to boxing, but what comes in your mind is somebody, another man riding another. Where's the correlation in that? How do your mind goes to that? Esta tigre son pájaros, mi hermano. Hey, you dudes that be glazed, that saying you're glazing, you're in this, you gotta be getting piped hard, bro. By watching. I think you're doing, you get, you're a host, what's his name? Josue Vargas. Your Josue Vargas's. After getting that, tate quieto. Dirt, exactly, right, Sha? They got a dirty mind, very, very dirty. Little Nas X dirty. It's cringy. It's cringy seeing another man be obsessed with another. Yeah, it's cringy seeing another man going to a boxing channel thinking about penises and people sucking each other off. That's weird, bro. Philip, that's weird. You don't think so? You don't think so, Philip? You don't think so, Philip? That you could come to a boxing channel and you thinking about men sucking off men? That's not weird to you? Believe me, if Turkey let Teo comes back, is going to be in Saudi, is going to be a tough person to beat, like Shakur. I think Shakur Stevenson is tough to beat, but guess what? Teofimo Lopez is a tough man to beat. Bang said, get back on topic. We on topic. But let's talk about this duck stuff. Let's talk about this duck stuff. Because I was going to do a video because breaking news. Jerome Bruce Ennis has signed an extension deal with Matchroom Boxing. Jerome Bruce Ennis, we're going to be talking about Duck, but this is going to be, I'm going to add into this conversation, right? New deal, new weight, new goals. 154 pounds. Jerome Bruce Ennis is on his way. He signed a new deal, a new extension deal with Matchroom Boxing. Now that we're talking about ducks, there has been people that saying that Jerome Bruce Ennis ducked Teofimo Lopez. Devin Haney, in his recent interview with Ring Magazine, says that Bruce Ennis ducked the fade, that he didn't want to fight me at 147. He wanted to fight me in the catchweight at 152. They say that Bruce Ennis ducked Brian Norman Jr., right? Now, but do y'all really think that Boots is scared of Brian Norman Jr.? Do you think that Boots is scared of Teofimo Lopez? Do you really think that Boots is scared to fight Devin Haney? No. Now let's be real. Let's be honest. If I want to be ignorant, I could keep on saying this one is ducking this one, and he don't want to fight this one and this one. Yeah, at the end of the day, you cannot neglect the business of boxing. Maybe the reason why Boots Ennis did not fight Teofimo Lopez is because, or anybody, because he was in negotiations to get a deal, a secure deal with Matchroom Boxing. Because whether people like it or not, Fighting in the card of Reha season or fighting under a Turki Alalshikh, as you can see, is not a good security. It's not a secure route. If you really think about it, Turki Alalshikh is not a secure route. There is no insurance in going to Turki Alalshikh. You fight on Turki Alalshikh card and you lose. What do you got left? What do you got left? See, at least with a secure deal, right? And a promotional deal, you lose, and however you construct that contract, you're still secured. I'm gonna give you one example. We were supposed to have Deontay Wilder versus AJ. That didn't come to fruition. It was supposed to be in March. I think it was supposed to be March 2024. That didn't come to fruition. Nothing is promised. What about with Shakur Stevenson when he said, "Oh, things was promised to me," and they didn't keep their promise? What about when he said that about when Teofimo Lopez said the same thing about Turki Alalshikh? They was promised that. So Turkey's contract seems like is not a security. Now, I understand how Bud is in a position to be independent and in the position to work with Turki Alalshikh the way that he's working, because he's in the end of his career, and also Canelo Alvarez, he already got a brand name. He's in the end of his career, towards the end of his career as well. So you could do that, but I don't think I have to consider that they're not ducking these fighters, is that they're locking in certain contracts that at the moment it doesn't allow them to fight these fighters or the fight that we want to see. And then we out here just calling them ducks, right? That's the easiest thing to do. That's the easiest thing to do. So let's call a ducks. Let me say, I don't trust Turki. Not in the long run. There's something up with him that doesn't seem genuine. I don't think so either. I think that Turki has done good things in the sport of boxing, but I think that he has fumbled certain things. He fumbled that situation in Times Square. He fumbled the situation. Why put Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou? Why put AJ versus Francis Ngannou? And then AJ got to turn around and prepare for Alexander Usyk. Yo, if you notice, Turki has killed momentum on people's career outside of Bivol and Beterbiev, because I think we needed Turki to get that fight, and we needed Turki to get the undisputed heavyweight bout. But before that, let's not forget that he put on a show that was not needed. Turki Alalshikh, when he put Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, that was not needed. We were supposed to go straight for the undisputed bout. And guess what? Tyson Fury was running high. Everybody at the time was praising Tyson Fury to the point they were saying that Tyson Fury could beat any heavyweight of any era. And then he got dropped by Francis Ngannou, and his aura disappeared. There's reason why. And then we saw Alexander Usyk when he fought Danny Dubois. A lot of people felt like Danny Dubois killed way more careers, bro. We're gonna go to that, because I know every time we're talking about Turki, somebody got to come with PBC now. But we're gonna see how many, if PBC truly developed careers or killed careers. But let's talk about Turki now. Let's stay on Turki. Every time we're talking about Turki, somebody got to, and we criticizing Turki, somebody got to come and say then somebody got to criticize PBC. If we're criticizing Canelo Alvarez, somebody got to bring, well, what about Floyd Mayweather? He cherry picking. If we thinking about this, we got to go with a Yang. We're talking about Yang. We're talking about Yang. Let's stick to Turki. That was a bad move. We didn't need Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. And when we see the performance of Tyson Fury, the reason why, we haven't seen an undisputed heavyweight bout in nearly a quarter of a century, but it killed the momentum to the point where even American sports wasn't even talking about that. They wasn't talking about it the way that they were supposed to talk about it. because there was no momentum of Tyson Fury, and there was truly really not a huge momentum of Alexander Usyk, because there was a controversial decision with the Alexander Usyk and Danny Dubois first fight. So they didn't look like two invincible. It was two guys that people didn't believe was supposed to be the guy. There was a lot of people that felt like Danny Dubois did stop Alexander Usyk in the first fight. And there was a lot of people that felt like Francis Ngannou actually beat Tyson Fury. So it was an undisputed with two guys. The first fight was an undisputed that people were skeptical about whether they are the true champions. So he killed that momentum. He killed what was supposed to be. He killed the aura. He killed the mega in a huge undisputed bout between Fury and Alexander Usyk. I think he killed Bakoli's career. Bakoli's career, he was already labeled as going to be the next George Foreman. And because of Turki Al-Sheikh's greed and thinking that fighters are toys, he felt that he could get Bakoli versus Joseph Parker in 1 day's notice. That was one of the most stupidest move in boxing history, in my opinion, in modern day history. That's one of the stupidest moves. But because a lot of people and a lot of media folks, you know, they hold it on to their media credential, to Ring magazine cards and stuff like that. They don't want to keep it real. That's one of the most stupidest move I ever seen. Bakoli to fight Joseph Parker in 1 day's notice, no training at all. That was a stupid move. That's a career killer. And even though that he promised him that he'll get Beckham in the ring, look, he had a draw. In the same week that everybody was criticizing how boring it was, yeah, Bakoli didn't do shit either. Ain't nobody talking about Bakoli right now. Jerry Anderson. Jerry Anderson was not supposed to be in the ring with Bakoli that early as well. He was getting billed as the next American heavyweight. That's who we had next on the pipeline. Kill. No, ain't nobody talking about no damn Jerry Anderson no more. Ain't nobody was talking about that no more. So I don't think that every decision that Turki Al-Sheikhh makes is like, oh my God. But we also seen Turki Al-Sheikhh kill fights. We also seen Turki Al-Sheikhh trying to manipulate fighters indirectly, like he did with Bivol. Bivol right now Bivol is the one that's supposed to fight David Benavidez right now. David Benavidez is supposed to fight Bivol. But because Turki Al-Sheikhh doesn't want to send a message to Bivol, like, you're going to go out there to PBC and get this fight, don't think you're going to come right back to me. We put you in position. We paid you a lot of good money and stuff like that. That's not making boxing great. Turki Al-Sheikhh, he's good, but he's also a control freak and think that these boxers are toys. And he's not willing to work with everybody. He's only willing to work with everybody if he is in control. That's not working with everybody, in my opinion. You want everybody so you could control them. What about this fight? Recently, Alexander Usyk versus Joseph Parker. That's a respectable. Joseph Parker, one of the most active fighters in the sport of boxing, the most active heavyweight in the sport of boxing. And if anybody has earned a title shot right now in the heavyweight division, nobody comes above Joseph Parker. Turki Al-Sheikhh just put out, Ring Magazine just put out that Turki Al-Sheikhh doesn't want that fight, meaning that he probably wants Fury to face Alexander Usyk next year. He doesn't want Alexander Usyk to fight Joseph Parker, so he's not putting up that fight. Yet Turki Al-Sheikhh was okay for Jake Paul to be in the ring to do a face-off with Usyk while Joseph Parker was there, stealing the shine of Joseph Parker. Why didn't Turki Al-Sheikhh grab Joseph Parker's hands and tell Joseph Parker and Usyk to do a face-off like he did with Matias and Smith, Canelo and Bud, and what he was prepared to do with Devin Haney and Ryan? Amen. Con los 2 pesos de Super Chari Chari Pari que me dice Turki is a dictator. Yeah, but we say it, but when Teo says it, then everybody has a problem with it. But we see he does in boxing. He is. He's very manipulative. He is. So, as much as people may not like Teo, and y'all could be happy. Oh yeah, Turkey doesn't want to put Teo on. Ha 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 ha. What does that do for us as boxing fans? What does that has to do for us as boxing fans? You want to see? Do you want to see Matias and Smith, or do you want to see Matias and Teo? Because that's the fight that Turkey Alalshikh needs to push. But then I also understand on the flip side the frustration of people doing business also with Teo. I understand it. That's something that he needs to take accountability. That's something that Teo needs to take accountability. And I support Teofimo Lopez 100%. Even if people don't like the constructive criticism that I've given, if people don't like it, if I don't know if Teo respects it, I don't know, but I'm gonna give what I feel constructive criticism. There's certain things that you have to move around to accomplish what you're destined to accomplish, to take over what you want to take over. And just like I did the video earlier, Oscar De La Hoya in a recent interview with Akim Barak did say that he would love to sign Teofimo Lopez if he's a free agent. That's the fighter that he would love to sign. And I've been saying it for a long time. The collaboration between Teofimo Lopez and Oscar De La Hoya, I think, is a match made in heaven in reference to a promoter and a fighter. If Oscar De La Hoya has the formula and Teofimo Lopez has the ingredients to be the face of American boxing. And hate it or love it, you know it and I know it, Teofimo Lopez has the ingredients to be the face of American boxing. And with Oscar De La Hoya, he did it with Canelo. He did it with Ryan Garcia. He's probably in the verge of doing it with Virgil Ortiz if he gets the right fights with Virgil Ortiz at 154. And let me say it like this. I'd rather see, and I like what Bam Rodriguez have accomplished already, but I even think that Golden Boy Promotions could take Bam Rodriguez to a whole nother level. To a whole nother level in terms of a star. Oscar De La Hoya got the formula. Teofimo Lopez have the ingredients. But will it work? Will it last? Will Teofimo Lopez burn that bridge? Will he sabotage? Will he make it hard for them? Because, and I'm not saying it's Teo because it go both ways, right? Look at the relationship with Top Rank, Bob Arum and Todd DeBuff. Down the toilet. Eddie Hearn. He blamed Eddie Hearn for the split decision loss with George Kambosa. Eddie Hearn hates Teofimo Lopez. Turki Alalshikh hates Teofimo Lopez. Ryan Kavanaugh doesn't like Teofimo Lopez. It's like every promotional guy that Teofimo Lopez has worked with has something against him. And I'm not saying that Teofimo Lopez didn't have reasons to be frustrated in particular. I don't think that he should have. I don't think he should be frustrated with Eddie Hearn whatsoever. That right there, I think, is more. That's more emotional. That's more not taking just just take the loss, right? Not blaming anybody. Just take that loss, right? But with Top Rank, I can understand. I can understand the Top Rank situation because he was promised certain things and he didn't get. He wasn't valued like he was supposed to be valued, right? But then I think sometimes even with Top Rank try to make it up, Teo didn't meet them there, right? For example, after the George Kamboso fight, he got the fight with Pedro Compa, and then he headlined Madison Square Garden with Sando Martin. It was supposed to be Jose Pedraza. Sando Martin was a last minute replacement, right? A couple of weeks, right? He was supposed to fight Jose Pedraza, but then it was Teofimo Lopez's job to sell the fight, have an audience, a major audience there, and it wasn't a packed Madison Square Garden. I was there. It wasn't a packed Madison Square Garden. That has nothing to do too much with Top Rank. That also has to do with the support system. Your supporters ain't come out the way they were supposed to come out, and the performance didn't did not match the expectations, right? So they gave you your headline Madison Square Garden bout, right? Okay, then the next fight, boom, the politics in the sport of boxing, the build-up to the Josh Taylor fight was unfair because it was building the Devin Haney and the Lomachenko, and they was calling Teofimo Lopez a unified champion. instead of the undisputed, what they called them before. They shitted on Teofimo Lopez leading up to the Josh Taylor fight. And that's the reason why I give Teofimo Lopez the benefit of the doubt of his frustration leading up to the fight with Josh Taylor. You gotta read room when you're saying crazy. You gotta read the room. Camboso smoked a Teo pack easily. Oscar said his first fight will be getting his lick back with in Australia. I don't know. I mean, look, but think about what he said. It's not necessarily because it's a big fight for the sport for us. I think he's spoken to Teo. I think he's heard Teo and his dad or speak about, and let's be real, let's be honest. Anytime we talk to Teo Sr., even on the panel when he does interviews and stuff like that, that Camboso is still here. So when Oscar De La Hoya said that on Akim Barak, listen to what Oscar De La Hoya said. He said it will be good for his mental. The Teo versus Camboso rematch is not good for me. It's not good. I don't think it's good for us, but I think it would be good for Teo, for him and his dad, for this right here. Because that Camboso is always going to come back. That conversation, that downplaying. That's the only way they devalue Teofimo. Today, that's the only reason people would devalue Teofimo Lopez. That's truly the only reason why we don't know which Teofimo Lopez is going to show up. Because that George Camboso. So it's for the mental. All gun is this Camboso chatter is annoying. I know, because you know why, Shy? That's the only way they know how to shame Teo. That's the only way they could shame Teo. But they don't act like boxing fans. There is Shy in this community. Is boxing fans, and there's just trolls. Is people that really don't like the sport of boxing. They like the conversations. They like to go back and forth with people and stuff like that. That's what it is. Because I'm a boxing fan. If I'm a boxing fan, I want to see Tank with Shakur, Tank rematch with Lamont Roach because he deserved it. Tank with Devin, Tank with Shakur, Tank with Teo. Shakur with Tank, Shakur with Devin, Shakur with Teo. Boots, Virgil. I don't give a damn who you like. I don't give a damn if you hate Virgil. I don't give a damn if you hate Boots. I don't care if you love him or hate him. Those are the fights that we want. So why we like to actually act like we shitting on somebody like, Teo ain't gonna get this. Shut the fuck up. You want Teofimo Lopez versus, if they announced Teofimo Lopez versus Tank, you will be happy like a fucking kid in a candy store, bro. You want to see Teo in pro box? That's what you want to see? Well, I know you want to see a Teo versus Devin, a Teo versus Matias, a Teo versus Gary Antoine, a TOC. That's what you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be talking about. And then the next thing, and then be like, yo, Teo's gonna get his ass whooped, or the other person gonna get their ass whooped. And that's that's a boxing fan. Now is people trying to keep fights away, like, oh, making fun of people's downfall. Like, you think I enjoy all these people? Even look at the Edgar Berlanga situation. Look at the Edgar Berlanga situation. People was just waiting on Edgar Berlanga's downfall. Y'all was just waiting for him to get knocked out. Y'all been waiting that for such a long time. I don't even like the way how everybody is kicked. I'm not gonna kick the man while he's down. Why? Because Edgar Berlanga was a confident dude. He's a confident fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because he talks shit. He's a confident fighter. But let's not forget that a lot of fans was talking shit about Edgar Berlanga leading up to the Canelo Alvarez fight, saying that he's gonna get knocked out. He didn't get knocked out. And let's not act like after the fight, everybody was giving Edgar Berlanga man props. A lot of people was giving Edgar Berlanga props, bro. Right after the fight, come on, man. I was doing the live. We had the channel. Everybody was giving him props. The people that just didn't like is how he was parading, how he was that confidence. Because what we didn't want him to be a confident fighter. We want a guy. We see the American toxic boxing fan like to see fighters not have confidence, vulnerable, don't believe in them. You know, people's confidence really tampers with people's ego. When Edgar Berlanga was knocking out 15 people in a row, The next thing that people wanted to see from Edgar Berlanga is, yo, how about if Edgar Berlanga go more rounds? I want to see if Edgar Berlanga go more rounds. As soon as he he went more rounds. He knocked the dude 4 times. He exposed. See, he can't knock everybody out in the first round. "15 cab drivers," and that's what I'm talking about. So Edgar Berlanga knocked out 15 cab drivers. Why you don't say the same thing for your boy Brian Oman Jr.? Let me know who he knocked out. If Edgar Berlanga knocked out 15 cab drivers, who your boy knocked out? Cab drivers or the Uber East delivery guy with the scooter? With the bike with no chain. Forget about the cab drivers. Your boy was beating dudes with scooters, with bike with no chain. Delivering food with a bike with no chain. Now tell me what you were saying earlier, Rice. Oh, he's the man. Hey, yo, he's the man. Brian Oman Jr. is the man. Rice said that Edgar Berlanga knocked out 15 cab drivers. Who your boy knocked out? Your boy ain't a champion. He's not a champion. He got elevated as one. He never earned it. He never beat no champion. He never beat no champion. He said he never beat no champion. Who he beat? Tell me. All right. Tell me. Anyway, anybody under this, tell me who he beat to become a champion in this list. Tell me who he beat. Rice, tell me who he beat to become a champion. Because I ain't seen no fight with him and Bud Crawford. Tell me who he beat, Rice. Tell me who he beat to become a champion. Tell me, nah, they ain't ask y'all anything else. Tell me who he beat to be a champion. Tell me who he beat. Let me see. Show me the tape. Show me the tape. Show me the tape. Show me the highlight when he became a champion. That I've been waiting this my whole career, my whole life, man. It's a dream come true. So Santion was the champion. So who was Bud Crawford and Earl Spence? Who was them? Dummy ass, bro. Come on, man. Tell me when he beat somebody we know. Tell me when he beat somebody we know. And then I could start praising him over the fighters that has done something. This has nothing to do with putting Brian Oman Jr. down. This is to humble these fake ass fraud fans trying to say that this guy is the guy by beating nobody. How you gonna come to my channel, downplay a bunch of fighters that did something for a guy that never did nothing? Okay, he a champion. Then what is Teofimo Lopez then? Since he's a nobody to you. He said something about Edgar Berlanga, then he said he's a champion. So what's Teofimo Lopez? So Teofimo Lopez, what is Devin Haney? Then Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez is better than Brian Oman Jr. waxed him in the ring, right? Got out of here, bro. You guys are just a YouTube. Y'all in the bubble of YouTube and shit like that. The verdict is still on Brian Oman Jr. Facts. Stevenson was trying to avoid Kovalev. What? Kovalev? Wow. See you in November, Lorenzo Smith. See you in November. Hey, I won't be surprised if he beats Devin Haney, but I got Devin Haney winning the fight. Because my prediction right now is I seen Devin Haney with a bunch. He's beaten proven fighters, proven champions, proven Olympians at that. He's beat him in every skill. He beat different skillful fighters. We've seen Devin Haney outbox guys that look. It was not supposed to be easy versus Regis Prograis. It was not supposed to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy like that. It was not supposed to be easy like that. You know what I'm saying? It was not supposed to be easy. Even the Jose Ramirez, it was too easy. It's not supposed to be easy. He won almost every round. 118, 110, 2, 119, 109 cards. Don't worry, Punch. After Devin Whoop, Norman, his career in these new Brian Norman, Devin Haney's will all say Norman suck. Come on, man. The only reason they just doesn't like Devin Haney, trust me, I know this community because they don't like Devin Haney. They like the way that Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr. pushes back on Bill Haney. That's what it is. That's what they like. They're liking Brian Norman Jr. through conversations and interviews of Brian Norman Sr. They don't care about Brian Norman Jr. I've been in this community for a long time. Ain't nobody was caring about no Brian Norman Jr. He ain't never be no world beater. Nobody really think that Brian Norman Jr. was gonna beat Boots Ennis. Nobody thought that. I didn't care. No, nobody was talking about Brian Norman Jr. like that. Shout out to the boxing voice. Shout out to Mill City and stuff like that. That they feature the Brian Norman Jr. a lot. And I'm not downplaying what they could be, how they could come into their own and be elite in the welterweight division, but they haven't proven they elite in the welterweight division. And it's not Brian Norman Jr.'s fault too much because all these guys did leave. You know, Earl Spence left, Keith Thurman out there, Daniel Garcia left. There was nobody there for Brian Norman Jr. There's not an ex-world champion. There's not even an ex-world champion at welterweight right now. So there is no, so I understand, but I'm not going to give credit to Brian Norman Jr. for something he hasn't done. You guys would rather shit, and that happens with everybody. Just like I remember on the come up, people started shitting on Earl Spence and Boots Ennis is coming up. And I was saying that Boots Ennis is going to be the king of the welterweight division in the future. But I wasn't already saying Boots could be Bud and Boots could be Spence and Boots could be Thurman. There was a bunch of crazy mother effers out here saying that Tim Tszyu is the best at 154. Y'all doing the same thing. Y'all doing the same thing people was doing with Tim Tszyu. Y'all was doing with Brian Norman Jr. Where's Tim Tszyu today? Where's Tim Tszyu today? Jermell Charlo was undisputed, and everybody was saying, hey, yo, Jermell Charlo was ducking Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu going to beat Jermell Charlo. Yo, there was even polls out there saying who will win, Jermell Charlo or Tim Tszyu, and people was picking Tim Tszyu. You guys people just be liking some weird shit. I got weird fantasies. Like, the more somebody proves to you that they're good and could be great, the worse you see them. It's weird. It's weird. Like, it's weird how people see fighters, bro. Like, I can't believe that we seen Jermell Charlo clear his division. I'm talking about he's probably the only fighter that actually cleared his division, cleaned up his division. Because there's always going to be somebody new coming up. But Jermell Charlo cleaned up his division. His whole career was 154. He cleaned it up. And then people going to be like, oh, man, oh, Tim Tszyu after Gausha. Oh, Tim Tszyu, he's better than Jermell Charlo. He's better. I'm like, yo, people, wow. The more people do, the more you question them. And the less that people do, you don't question them. And then we see why. You don't think that's disrespectful? You don't think that's disrespectful that, shout out, I like Ryan Garcia, but it's also disrespectful that you got a Teofimo Lopez, even a Devin Haney, fighting behind a Ryan Garcia that never was a world champion. So how much respect does Turki Alalshikh has? Because remember, it's not about selling, because that event, it was not about gate. It was not about gate. It was not about selling. So why not respect it and line them up the way they're supposed to be lined up? How's Charlo the truth and refused to move? How Charlo the truth and refused to move up? Charlo the truth and refused. Charlo fought Canelo when people was telling him that he was ducking Tim Tszyu. Boots had 2 fights at 147 and ran from competition. Maybe they didn't consider Brian Norman Jr. real competition. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why the powers that be didn't consider Brian Norman Jr. as competition like that. You know why? because they put Stanionis versus Boots Ennis for the lineal championship, meaning that they didn't think highly of Boots Ennis and they don't think highly of Mario Barrios. Because to put the lineal championship on the line, it has to be the clear number 1 versus the number 2. Clear. It has to be a clear number 1, number 2, or it has to be clear for the undisputed bout. That's the only way the lineal championship is on the line, for undisputed and the clear number 1 and number 2. Meaning that they didn't even consider Brian Norman Jr. as elite. So they put that. Think about it, because Boots hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough at welterweight as well. Brian Norman Jr. has done less than Boots. Mario Barrios beat Ugas. That's the one that he beat in the welterweight division. He lost to Thurman and stuff like that. None of these guys really done too much in the welterweight division, but they had, and Stanionis hasn't as well, but they had that lineal title on the line because they didn't think a lot of Brian Norman Jr. Because if Brian Norman Jr. was clear, the number 2, they never would have had that belt on the line. Truth about Brian Norman Jr., they underestimated Brian. Maybe they did. He said address the pimp slap. What slap? What are you talking about, Rice? What slap you talking about? The one that Teofimo Lopez slapped Barbosa? Which slap you talking about? Rice, what are you talking about? The cocotazo? I did a whole video about it, bro. You ain't see the video? You ain't see the video? I put the video up. You ain't see the video? Go check out the video. Bro. Oh, you want me to do a whole nother live about it? He's talking about Matias. Yeah, I already did 2 videos about it. He's still on that Charlo slander. No, I'll check it out. All right. I thought he was talking about Charlo. I thought he was mixing up the Charlo brothers. But I think that Teofimo Lopez will effort Matias though in the ring. Teofimo Lopez will effort Matias in the ring. Teofimo Lopez would treat Matias like a baby in the ring. With all that pressure with the hand down, man, Teofimo Lopez is gonna pick this dude apart. Man, it's gonna be Matias' worst enemy, bro. You see his face, it's gonna be all effed up. If Matias fights Teo the way that he fought Puello, man, Teofimo Lopez is gonna pick him apart so bad, bro. The team is gonna throw in the towel. They're going, you getting hit too much. His mouth is too. I think they will both get messed up. Nah, not Teo. Teo won't get messed up. Not with that style. Not with that style. Not with Matias coming down. Like, even Matias even fought better Liam Paru. This Matias that fought Puello, Matias just said, I don't care about nothing. Que me importa a mí, yo a pelear. Si me noquea, y si yo lo noqueo. Matias didn't have no game plan. He had his hands down and just pressuring like if he was in the street. That's how Matias fought. It was just all will. I'm just going to guerra mode. I don't care. F me up. It's either you or me. That's how he wants to fight. But with Teo, he's not Puello, but Matias. Yeah, I don't know what these I don't really know what these people see. They think that is gonna be easy work. All right, okay. Yo, I don't bet on boxing. I'm willing to bet anybody. If Matias and Teofimo Lopez fight, Teofimo Lopez will whoop Matias to a stoppage. And I don't bet on boxing. I will bet anybody with that and put money on escrow. Tio is gonna pick him apart so bad, bro. Yo, Matias does nothing better than Teofimo Lopez. He said, I don't know, man. Matias whooped his who Puello? Even Matias had a more after face than Puello. No, I want to see the fight. Hell yeah, I want to see that fight, especially now. That's the unification bout. That's the I think right now that's the primary fight in the 140-pound division. Even though that the Richards and Hitchens, yeah, but I think that Matias and Tio, especially now what has happened, he got kicked out. He got scored. He's got the security kicked him out of the arena. Andy Medina in the building say, yo, Punch, you going to be at the Zayas fight tomorrow? No. Man, Top Rank don't like me, bro. I can't even get me the credentials. I never had me the I couldn't get me the credentials for that fight, bro. And they don't feel your boy, man. But I'm not go to the fight though. I seen it a draw at the most. Matias didn't win that. I see it. Yeah, me too. I didn't see Matias winning that fight. But I could understand the judges because the one thing with Puello stood in the ropes too much. Too much. He was just on the back foot too much. And it was like, Matias took like 3 steps forward and Puello was just moving back like crazy. It was like voluntarily, like, took a lot of time just to pivot around. And it was Puello let himself be pressure like that. This is getting carried away. Puello is getting accused of wearing illegal wraps. They said the same about Shiraz. Oh, I don't know about that. Matias won 2-8 and 10. Yeah, I didn't see Matias winning that fight. But there was several close rounds though. There was several close rounds that I could see it as a draw, but I didn't see Matias winning that fight at all. But again, Puello doesn't have the fan base, even though that he's Dominican and stuff like that. We don't have a Dominican fan base like that that's really going to protest and stuff like that and really cause chaos. And just look what happened at Carlos Adames. That shit just was swept under the rug. And then Shiraz get a main event fight versus Belanga, and then now he's back on. That's crazy. That's crazy. Turki Alalshikh, why he didn't do the right thing and give and do the rematch with Carlos Adames? Why he didn't do the right thing and do the rematch with Carlos Adames? Because he know his boy was gonna get whooped. His little poster boy. I couldn't give as much as it was a great performance by Shiraz beating up Edgar Berlanga. I just couldn't give him the ultimate respect because I feel like they robbed Carlos Adames. I think the Russian cheat 1-2 on that card. Gary Russell versus Tio is the fight, but y'all not mentioned that. Y'all scared of that. Who, Greg? Come on, man. I'm talking about Punch right here, bro. That's what I mean, man. Like, hey, yo, Greg, y'all be watching my videos or something? Y'all don't be watching the videos. Y'all gotta go through the archives, bro. He said Gary Russell versus Tio was the fight, but y'all not mentioned that. Y'all scared of that. Who's scared of that? Hold on. Everybody. Okay. Let me see right here. Hold on. I got you right here, bro. I got you right here. I got you right here. Give me a second. Check that video out. Gary Antoine Russell, your favorite fighter's kryptonite. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. I gotta watch the videos, man. When I tell you, I'm telling you, I'm biased logically. See, people just stick to one certain content that I make, man. I'll be talking about Gary Antoine Russell. I'll be talking about Gary Antoine Russell. Let me see if I got. There's another one I did. Hold on. Maybe that was a live. Was that a live? Let me see. I did a live. Let me see if I did the live here. Was it a live? Also, I did a video. Here you go. Look at the live right here. Yo, Greg. Why they acting like Gary don't exist? Hitchens calls out Tio for the king of NYC crown. But that whole live was why everybody shying away from Gary Antoine Russell. Come on, man. You gotta watch the videos, man. You gotta become a member, bruh, so you don't miss a video. You gotta subscribe. Have you subscribed, correct, Greg? You gotta subscribe, man. Hit that notification bell so you get all my videos. So you're gonna be like, damn. All right, punch. All right, punches. All right. I was at the ring 3 event in Rome. Matias beat boy. It was easy for me, boy. Check the archives, man. I always, Gary Antoine Russell. I would say that Gary Antoine Russell beats Richardson Hitchens. I was the one that said that Gary Antoine Russell's crypt is the that Gary Antoine Russell was the kryptonite to Jerome Bruce Ennis. I'll show you the receipts, bro. Hold on, I'll show you the receipts. Gary Antoine Russell was the kryptonite to Jerome Bruce Ennis. I used to say that because he beat him 3 times in the amateurs. Beat him 3 times in the amateurs. He beat Rich. You know why Richardson Hitchens doesn't call out Gary Antoine Russell? It's because Gary Antoine Russell got his number in the amateurs. You know why Boots Ennis never called out Gary Antoine Russell? Because Gary Antoine Russell got his numbers in the amateurs. People know Gary Antoine Russell. That's why they don't want to call him out. Just like people know. Look, when Gary, there was 3 guys that was popping. 3 guys in America that was popping, right? At that time. And it was Gary Antoine Russell, Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson. Those were the guys, bro. Those were the guys that was popping, bro. Those were the guys that was popping. Teofimo Lopez won the USA Olympic trial. Shakur Stevenson went to the Olympics as well. And Gary Antoine Russell. The thing with Teofimo Lopez is that they played him going to the Olympics. He's the only fighter. He's the only fighter in over a century. He's the only boxer in over a century that's the only American fighter to win the USA Olympic trials and did not represent the USA, bro. That's why I'm telling you since day one, I could understand a lot of the frustrations of Tio. The politics, it just didn't start in the pros, it started in the amateurs. Teofimo Lopez is the only fighter to win the USA Olympic trial and did not represent USA. He's the reason why he went to represent Honduras. In the amateurs boxing, they score more for volume punches and busyness. In pros, it's punches landed per round. Effective, though, got to be effective punches landed as well. That's why I always said that a Keyshawn Davis would beat Andy Cruz in the pros. Even though that Andy Cruz had Keyshawn Davis' number in the amateur, but Keyshawn Davis would beat Andy Cruz in the pros. I always said that. Always said that. How's T.O.'s nugget after getting G checked? by Matias. I don't know, man. That's something that Teofimo Lopez need to answer to. I think that Teofimo Lopez should truly push for that fight. But it is what it is. I think that's a unification bout. I think that's a fight that either fighter shouldn't overlook. I think that Subriel Matias should be telling Turki Alalshikh to push that fight and make the fight with Teofimo Lopez, because that's a unification bout that could trump. I don't know why they promoting this mandatory bout with Subriel Matias. I know that's Eddie Hearn that's pushing for that fight like crazy, but I think the unification bout was more important than that fight with Matias and Smith. To be honest, do you imagine if Smith beats Matias? I mean, Liam Pyro. I don't know. If Matias will get up for that fight, especially in Saudi Arabia, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Matias is not that young too, and I don't want them to F up the bag. I don't want them to F up a good matchup. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Matias, and because he's vulnerable to lose to a guy like Smith. So I don't want to see that fight. I truly want to see Matias versus Teo, Matias Hitchens, Matias, Gary Antoine Russell. These are the fights I want to see. Forget about that. Yo, to be honest, man, even if he needs to let go of the belt, I'd rather Matias let go of that belt and fight Teo, or fight Hitchens, or fight Gary Antoine Russell, then keep the belt and fight the Smith guy and then lose to that guy. Punch, what do you think about Shakur versus Conor Benn? That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Conor Benn is never gonna come down to 147, and he's gonna stay to 154. The most he could do is 147. I don't think Shakur C is gonna move up that. So to be honest, I don't know about that fight. To be honest. We all gotta push the fight, but we all gotta push Turki Alalshikh though. That's what it is, Lorenzo. We gotta bang the door on Turki Alalshikh and say, yeah, yo, my man, stop acting like a little beta man. Stop acting all emotional and shit because Teofimo Lopez said this and that. All these fighters always say something crazy to these promoters. Stop it, Punch. Matias drops his belt. Teo would definitely not fight him. I think Teo would fight him. I think that we just like to you don't front line. Why Matias didn't fight Teofimo Lopez the first go around? Let me see you say that it was the hand. It was the hand, right? Why did Matias didn't unify the titles with Teofimo Lopez and accept that $1.5 million offer that was on the table? Let me see your excuse now. Since you saying he got an excuse, so let me see your excuse for Subriel Matias. What is Subriel Matias? He never should have fought Jermaine Ortiz. It was supposed to be Subriel Matias unification bout Super Bowl week in Las Vegas, main event. Why didn't Matias sign up for that fight? Let me see your excuse. Because everybody got an excuse. So let me see yours. Put it on the chat. You already know the first go around, he didn't negotiate. He negotiated the dates. There was already a date. The date was for the Super Bowl weekend. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you again, like I said before. Is Matias afraid of Teo? No. Is Teo afraid of Matias? No. Is Boots afraid of Teo? No. What we don't like to emphasize is the business. I said, and I was leading up, I said that Matias is negotiating with Eddie Hearn, and where y'all was staying with the la mano, no, stop it, Punch, stop it, it's the hand. And I'm saying, yo, my man, he's locking a deal, a multi-fight deal. It actually will be smart for Subriel Matias to lock this deal, because if he goes to Top Rank and loses the fight, he has no deal. That would be a one-off. He don't have a promotional deal. But there was so many people that were so stuck on this. No, it's the hand, it's the hand. It's saying not the hand. The hand is to fog up and to prolong the situation. And guess what happened? He signed a multi-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing. That's the reason why he didn't go to Top Rank. Because they was just offering Subriel Matias one fight. That was Teofimo Lopez. So Matias went to secure a multi-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing. So he did it for business. Just like Boots, as we see today, why didn't he fight Tio? Why he didn't fight Haney? Why he's been so shut? Because he was negotiating a deal to sign an extension with Matchroom Boxing. If he goes out there to fight Teofimo Lopez in Reha season, that's a one fight. You don't know what happens. He loses, and then what happens to Jerome Boots Ennis? He doesn't get a contract with Matchroom Boxing. Then he's back in square one. So he went to secure that's a career move. Secure a promotional deal, an exclusive promotional deal with Matchroom Boxing that has insurance. Because you don't have insurance going to a Ring Magazine call. You don't have insurance going to a Reha season and just working with Turkey directly. Because if you lose, you out of there. What happens after? Did Boots really dug Tio, or he was negotiating his deal for his career? For me, that's justifiable. Just like Matias needed to do with Tio, needed to lock his deal with Matchroom Boxing and not get that one fight deal, is justifiable. Just like Devin Haney had a $2.4 million from Top Rank to fight Teofimo Lopez, and he declined. Bill Haney said he declined because they would rather go with the Turki Alalshikh and work with Turki Alalshikh. That happened. He secured the Ryan Garcia deal. Then in the second time was Subriel Matias and Teofimo Lopez, right? The second time it was a $2.8 million deal. Fight Subriel Matias, pay-per-view, right? But you're only going to get the back end pay-per-view if you sell over 100K, right? But what did Teofimo Lopez said around that time? That was a contract for Brian Norman Jr. or Subriel Matias. He's in litigation. He's trying to break away from the manager. Guess what? He got a new manager and a new deal, a new constructive deal with Top Rank, in which he's gonna have the freedom to do whatever he wants, go wherever he want to go, do whatever he want to do, but still got to pay that sanctioning fee. Did he dunk Matias, or he secured a 3-fight deal that was supposed to be a 3-fight deal with Turki Alalshikh? That was supposed to be Barbosa. The next fight supposed to be Boots. And then the third fight was supposed to be the win of Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Did he really dug Matias? Did he really dug? Or he went with what everybody in boxing was saying is the great move is to work with Turkey? Eso es hablando de eso. Now, usted está hablando de calle. What I'm explaining to you, the business of boxing. If we want to be ignorant and just look at it like there is no business, then okay, then everybody duck everybody. Everybody duck anybody. You believe that Boots Ennis is scared of Teofimo Lopez? You believe that Tio is afraid of Devin Haney? Huh? You think that Tio is afraid of Matias? You think Matias is afraid of Tio? You think Devin is afraid of Tio? You think Ryan is afraid of somebody? Like, let's talk boxing, bro. Let's talk real boxing. Let's talk real boxing. Let's have common sense so we could understand why certain fighters do certain things. I'm not saying that we got to agree. We don't got to like that these fighters do what they're doing. We don't got to like what they're doing, but the ducking is justifiable because they lock in business deals. So I'm going to give you an example. Shakur Stevenson is calling out Teofimo Lopez right now. That's the content, right, of today, right? Shakur Stevenson is calling out Teofimo Lopez right now. But we all know that Turkey is not working with Teofimo Lopez. So is this call out genuine? Is this call out genuine? Knowing that Shakur Stevenson is working with Turki Alalshikh, and Turki Alalshikh says that he got big plans for Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is calling out Teofimo Lopez. The world of boxing knows that Turkey ain't fucking with Teofimo Lopez. Is this call out genuine? What is Teofimo Lopez going to do right now? What can Teofimo Lopez do with this call out? And I like this call out. I like the fight. I like that Shakur Stevenson there and be great. I actually like this fight and respect this fight a whole lot. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is two fighters I highly respect of this generation. I think this is a wonderful fight. Wonderful fight. But how much is how much is this call out is genuine? By the way, just so people won't say that I'm a hater or nothing like that, Clarissa Shields is fighting this Saturday, and she's fighting Lani Danielle. Yeah. Y'all could call her the Guo all y'all want. This is who she fighting. This is who she fighting. This is who she's fighting, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her record, ladies and gentlemen. She's fighting a girl that had 3 fights with somebody, 2 fights, 3 fights. Look at her record, ladies and gentlemen. She fought Sakila Hemingway 3 times, Tisa Tudvavo 3 times. Yeah, that's who Clarissa Shields fighting. Jackie Hernandez in the building, la reina de boxeo. I think that Clarissa Shields, she's fighting at 175. I truly believe that I feel like if Clarissa Shields would have continued her career in the MMA, I liked her style when she was fighting in the MMA. She doesn't have an opponent, bro. What is she? She's not going to lose 30, 40 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell by her body today, she hasn't been working out like that. She knows that she was going to beat the crap out of this girl. She didn't go to training camp and work her ass off. She has no abs. She's flabby right now. She was flabby today. You know, I think today was probably the worst shape that I've seen Clarissa Shields in. But she knows that she's right now like James Toney right now. Clarissa Shields is like James Toney. So she knows she's gonna beat the crap out of this girl. This girl can't match her in technique and skills. She don't gotta even go to the training camp for this. She could jump rope and do pad work and stuff like that and beat this girl up in boxing. She knows that. There is no competition for Clarissa Shields at that weight. I don't know why she wants to stay in that weight. There's not many heavyweights. That's why I'm saying that she should be in MMA. She just too ain't nobody for her. Exactly, Jackie. And people acting like she's fighting some top. She ain't fighting. Yo, she hasn't fought. I don't even because I support women boxing, but I just got to keep it real, man. At that division, women boxing is not all that. It's not. These are girls that really don't have experience. They just started boxing. Look at her last opponent, man. She's 40 plus years old, started fighting like 5 years ago. That was embarrassing like that, you know. And the fight before that she doesn't have an opponent, bro. And it's sad because she's a very skillful fighter, Clarissa Shields, but she's what you call that when you say she's ahead of her time in her division. She's just way ahead of her time. That division is suck. She spanked everyone else, Brody. But yeah, but everyone else wasn't all that. Why she ain't stayed there? If Clarissa Shields when she was at the 160, 154 mark, she just should have stood there and stayed low. Her going up was, for me, in my opinion, that was just laziness. That was the more you go up, the less competition there is. So why she ain't stay there when she was fighting the like Marshall, and then come and little by little get in shape, come back down, and then you could at least get the 154. At least you could tell, yo, Chantel Cameron, can you move? You can move up. I move a little down. She could get those fights. She could get a Natasha Jonas. You know what I'm saying? If she would have just, but she just below. She just get 175 right now. Clarissa, look at her body, yo. Her body today, she was in a worse shape. I'm talking about in boxing shape. I don't see nobody in the lower division whooping her. But you go, but at least she's in the ring with somebody that's capable, that have skills. At least you be in the ring. See, and even and it's true. She was just be big because Katie Taylor just moved up to fight Chantel Cameron. Katie Taylor is a natural lightweight. Amanda Serrano was a natural featherweight. She's going back to 126. Alicia Baumgarten is a super featherweight. She not, and they don't even got the body frame to. Do you know how much these girls got to eat to go to 175? Like Clarissa Shields? I think Clarissa Shields, she was in a division where she was like 2 division away from potentially in the same division she could face a Natasha Jonas out there. But the Savannah Marshall fight was good. Maybe the Shadeja Green fight. I think that Clarissa Shields will beat Shadeja Green. Maybe a rematch with her and Crew DeJourn will be good as well. And she'll beat Crew DeJourn, but that was the first fight of her career. I think that will be a good fight. Now the Crew DeJourn does got some straps. Let's not bring up Alicia. She's been exposed this late fight. Nah, she wasn't exposed. She just didn't exceed the expectations. He said, Punch, what would you do if Clarissa tried pressing you? I'll turn the other cheek. What I'm going to do, she's a woman. If she start pressing me, I'll be like, yo, chill, woman. I don't chill, lady. Yeah. I'll record it and make it a content. What I'm going to do. You ain't see Clarissa Shields freestyle? She added me on her freestyle. She dissed me in her freestyle. Y'all ain't see the freestyle? Hey, yo, Jackie, you ain't see the freestyle of Clarissa Shields? Hey, yo, Clarissa Shields had a freestyle. She added me in her freestyle. She added me and you ain't see it? Oh shit, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see the latest one. Let me see. Nah, not the 9 month ago. I think she took it out though. Was this? I think it's this. Oh, it gotta be. I can't put it. Hey, yo, Clarissa. I mean, Jackie. Go to this one, Jackie. She dissing me right here. Clarissa been in this studio. Yeah. Y'all never heard of the freestyle? She dissing Punch Drunk. Oh, God, look. Hold on. I don't want to put the beat because I don't want to get flagged. I don't want to get flagged. I don't want to get that. Hold on. I made it, y'all. I got her under her skin. Hey, yo, y'all notice? Y'all notice cuando when I was saying, when I was saying Antonio Tarver with a wig, yo, Clarissa Shields. After that, she don't go outside without no makeup. She's trying to look right every time she on TV now. Yo, Clarissa, you good? You the grow? You the grow? It's all right. You the grow? We got no problems here. Shout out to Clarissa. Clarissa Shield did a freestyle trying to dish me and Shakur. Oh man. But guess what? Clarissa Shields seen me. She seen me already. Hey yo, New York. She didn't. Clarissa Shields was sitting a couple rows back from me. I think so. From the Amanda Serrano fight. She got mad. I called her Antonio Tarver with a wig. But yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's there's not a lot of news in the sport of boxing this week. So that's the call out. Hopefully they get the call out. Jerome Bruce Ennis signed a new deal with Matchroom Boxing. What else we got here? Oh, I did the video today. The video where will if Golden Boy Promotions does sign Teofimo Lopez, would it last? Hopefully, it could get to there. Hopefully he do get signed or work with Golden Boy Promotions. Hopefully he just doesn't burn that bridge or make it impossible to work with another promoter, because every promoter that Teofimo Lopez has worked with, I'm saying, he's have some problems. Either is not negotiating in bad faith, not keeping promises on the promotional company or whatever and stuff like that. I think it goes both ways. Because even with the Turki Alalshikh, remember he did sign a deal and they was trying to cut his pay, and I understand his frustration as well. A lot of people wasn't giving Teofimo Lopez the benefit of the doubt, but Antonio the Punch Drone Boxing Tarver. Nah, that don't make sense. Teo has to stop messing up all his opportunities and momentum. Because I think that Teofimo Lopez, he gets a great win, and everybody should be talking about his win. And then you do the Josh Taylor. He announced retirement. Then with the Barbosa, then it was the whole thing IG Live with the where the liquor at, where the nigga at, whatever and stuff like that, and it just it killed the momentum. And then this Turki Alalshikh situation killed the momentum. You just don't have to put everything out there when he's feeling bad about something, especially in his business. He shouldn't be putting everything out there. Like it's good being transparent with the fans, because it's like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson always transparent. He gives all his thoughts and his emotions is always out there. And I think a lot of people respect that about Mike Tyson. I think that Teofimo Lopez, he does that, but he just don't have to put. He don't have to, every time that he's irritated, he don't have to go online and be irritated about it. You know what I'm saying? Speak to people, good, confident people around you that's going to be like, yo, you feel like that? Yo, watch, I'm gonna say, nah, don't say that. Don't say that now, man. Don't kill the vibe, don't kill the momentum. Deal with this behind the scenes and stuff like that. Epoxy Magic said, I think that TLC, that's what I said in the video. I think that Teofimo Lopez Sr. should be the one in the forefront of promoting and boxing. And I think that Teofimo Lopez should keep promoting, but promote outside of the sport of boxing. If you notice, when Teofimo Lopez does things that he does couple of boxing, like the pad work with Fernando Vargas, like the dancing salsa, getting punched in the rib by that by the strongest man in the world, like that is what people like, are entertained. But when Teofimo Lopez promoting in boxing the way he promotes in the sport of boxing, and I don't think that people usually find him too humorous. The controversial, I think, is too cringy for people to even support. They don't even know what to support or hate. Like, it's one thing about being hated and you want to see somebody in the ring with him, so you want to see Teofimo Lopez lose because he says something that you hate, right? But it gets to the point where he says something that people don't even want him to get an opportunity. Like, people were saying, yo, these black fighters shouldn't even get in the ring with Teofimo Lopez and get him a payday, instead of the fans saying, yo, I want the black fighters to beat the crap out of him and stuff like that. So it's weird. But anyway, man, hope everybody has a good Friday, a good weekend. I'm out of here on this one, man. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.